Hey guys, it's Cody again. I think this thing's working. It's been a while since I've streamed, because I took advantage of the Steam Summer Sale and bought myself a new racing game. You may have heard of it. It's called iRacing. It is basically all about racing other people. They don't screw around. They don't really have a lot of cars or tracks, but the simulations is really, really good. And it's a pretty sweet game. Now, a game. They don't like that. They like it to be called a service, but whatever. That's a bit pretentious if you ask me. However, they're obviously working very hard to provide something pretty cool, so I guess I shouldn't really give them too much trouble. So I bought this, I don't know, a week ago. I've made it out of rookie class already. I guess I could have chronicled that, but I didn't really feel like streaming it, I suppose. But here I am in D class. It's a new week. We get a new track for the MX-5 Global Cup thing, the race that they do. And I'm learning a new track. I'd like to say that I've never driven this track. I admittedly did a few laps before I started streaming. I kind of thought, hey, wouldn't it be neat to stream this part? Too little too late, but whatever. I'm going to stream it anyway. I imagine I'll be eating dinner shortly, so this won't be terribly long, but let's have a look. I don't know if there's anything else to bring up, so yeah, let's just get going. I'm in the MX-5 Miata, yep, American, and we are at Summit Point, so let's have a look. Alright, here we go. So this track's pretty cool. It's about a 50, you can see a 57-ish second lap for me. I know it can be done in 55 seconds because I YouTubed it. I was so excited. I hadn't YouTubed a track yet until today, and I YouTubed Laguna Seca, which is where we were last week. So sorry, Laguna Seca fans, you missed out on that action. But the guy that I YouTubed, man, I was getting some sweet pointers, and I was really excited to come home and jump on and give him a try, and then I come home and jump on, and well, it's time to learn a new track. So I can either fight it or I can not, but I've decided to not fight it. Okay, that was not horrible, not good, but not horrible. Here we go, let's see here. So I was coming down to third in here. Mr. YouTuber comes down in second so that he can get a really good run onto this corner. Maybe I got too good of a run onto that corner, but it works. See, I mean, I went faster, and had I not been all hesitant there, I think I could have probably pulled away from my ghost. Brake real early there because you can just whale it up the inside here. And once I get the line just so on that, I mean, look how much time I'm taking out. At one point I took this corner and I took like 4/10 out, which means that corner is far from optimized. Oh, Jesus, that was terrible again. Well, I kind of recovered. Yeah, I recovered really well, actually. Holy crap. Terrible entry, and then the exit's a quarter of a second faster. And look at my run-up because I got a good exit, so... It's a short track with 7 turns, which means any corners leading to a straightaway or whatever are just critical. I mean, look at Spa. I think Spa is one of the worst tracks in the entire world, and I know that that's going to get me flamed, but Spa's like 2 important corners and then nothing else really is consequential to lap time. I think the battling inside of in Spa, the corners in the Sector 2 and stuff, they make for some pretty fun battles. I guess how many Sector 2? The second third of Spa has some really good spots for battling, and you know, I can respect that, but overall I think the track, for as complex as it is, it comes down to like literally 2 corners. Like the very first, well, see, and now I'm finding out that the track is different depending on who's racing on it. There's 2 start-finish lines. One that's like just after the bus stop on that one straightaway, and then there's a corner, and then there's the secondary starting point. Oh, I'm talking and not thinking. The first starting point, the Assetto Corsa starting point, and if I'm not mistaken, the Formula 1 starting point, though I could be mistaken, admittedly. That first corner, the one in between the two finish lines, is one of the two corners. Then the other corner is that right 3 that leads into that in sector 3, or the third of the track that leads into that gargantuan straightaway complex. I was way in the wrong gear for that. That leads into that gargantuan straightaway complex. It's like those two corners, you get those right and you'll have a good lap. Get them wrong and you get dumped on. Alright, let me think about this for a minute. Let me see if I can actually get a good lap in here. Okay, keep it tight, keep it tight. There we go. Clip the curb, but don't eat too much of it. Yeah, see, I almost did. That's going to be interesting, because you got to be really careful there. Down into second. Keep it kind of tight. That wasn't tight enough. And then now the oversteer happens. It's not bad oversteer. It's not like, oh god, we're dying, but that wasn't fast because I was slipping. And that, I want to get all the way out on that curbing, but every time I do, the car just gets really loose, so... This is an interesting little track. For 7 corners and, you know, a 55-second lap, it's pretty technical. I'm actually really happy with it. I'm excited to get some racing done on this thing. But first, I gotta get a lap time that will... It's a funny thing, in Assetto Corsa, for instance, and I imagine in games like R Factor, hell, games like Forza are the same way. You've got your front guys, who know the track, who know the brake points, who know the car, and who are quick. And you've got your middle guys who are just trying to survive, but they're not complete doorknobs. And then you've got your back-of-the-pack guys who end up crashing in turn 1 every single race, and yet they keep showing up to do more races. You gotta give it to them, at least they're persistent. Well, I've always been kind of a middle-pack guy. Look at that, that was a nice run. That first sector worked very nicely for me. I was always kind of a middle-of-the-pack guy, playing Forza, playing Gran Turismo, playing Assetto Corsa. This game does not... It's not for the middle pack. If you're a middle pack guy in this game, you are back of the pack. And if you are back of the pack, you are going to get rear-ended badly. And iRacing does mark incidents, as I'm sure many of you know. And you do not want incidents if you can avoid them. But it's also a no-fault system. So if Tweedledum just comes in full speed and rear ends the crap out of me, which sounds way dirtier than it's supposed to, I take incident points as well as him. The game does not. The service has no interest in trying to figure out who did what to whom, because that. I mean, think about that. It gets it wrong. It would get it wrong occasionally, and if it got it wrong, there'd be hell to pay by all the users. And there's no real way to do it right, so we all share the blame when something goes wrong. Where I'm getting with that is, if you're a middle pack kind of guy like me, if you're kind of slow, if you kind of don't know the track, you know, you don't want to go out there and just half-ass it, because there could be guys out there that, for whatever reason, didn't qualify or whatever, but if they're starting behind you, they're going to be pushing hard to get past you, and if you don't know the track very well, it's just a recipe for disaster. You're going to hit the brakes before you're supposed to hit the brakes, or later than you're supposed to hit the brakes. I mean, normally, I guess, if I go into a track I'm not familiar with, I come in going really cautious. So I see a corner coming, I have to guess what gear it is, conservatively, because I don't want to overshoot and go off track and crash and blow up and all that crap. So I got to, like, go pretty slow around the corner, and if you brake 20 meters too soon, understandably, I think, somebody who's behind you who knows the brake point, who knows where they need to stop, they're going to plow right into the back of you, or they're going to have to take some severe evasive maneuver to get around you. And in a game that's all about online racing, I said game again, sorry iRacing guys. In a game that's all about online racing, you really don't want to be the guy that's causing fuck-ups during the race. It's just not good. It doesn't feel good. You know you're playing the game wrong. You know you're doing the thing that everyone hates, that you hate. I mean, I hate it when someone wrecks me, I don't want to be the guy wrecking people. So, I don't want to end up on Empty Box's Carnage Report at the end of it all, that kind of thing. Which, he puts that kind of thing on as a tool designed to sort of publicly shame. That's a little harsh. I saw his Carnage Reports. He doesn't hammer on people too hard, but, he calls a spade a spade. When someone's being dumb, they're doing the wrong thing. He'll straight up say, yeah, he did the wrong thing there. He was driving erratically, or he was, calls it what it is, and I appreciate that. I applaud that, because I think that online racing has not had an appropriate amount of external shaming factors. Just go watch Super GT's videos. Super GT is amazing. The guy's he does this deadpan comedy that Britain has become so popular for. He does it so well, and he's just a really well-spoken guy, and he's a very good racer, and he plays, of all things, on frickin' Forza, among others. He's also played some iRacing and a couple other games, Assetto Corsa and stuff, but his go-to is, of all things, Forza 6, I think, whatever the latest version of Forza is. I don't have an Xbox at the moment, so I'm not really paying attention to that world. I say that, forgetting that Forza 6 did indeed come out on the PC, and I was about half an inch away from buying it back when it came out. I think Forza 7's coming out soon. Anyway, he does that, and if you guys have ever raced online in a console racing game, you know what the back of the pack looks like, and you know what the first corner looks like. So, it's kind of interesting that he does that he chooses to do that, because it's just not going to be primo racing. It's going to be kind of, I don't want to say the worst of the worst. That's totally rude, and it discounts people who do play Forza seriously. And as somebody who used to play Forza somewhat seriously, I think I would have been offended by hoity-toity PC players going, oh, the plebs over on Forza. It ain't like that. It's just, you just really don't go into a Forza open lobby expecting good, clean racing. But he does all that, and I don't remember where I was going with that, but whatever. Hit up Super GT if you haven't. I guess we'll end with that. Hit up Super GT if you haven't. He is a very good YouTube streamer, and one of the reasons I like to enthuse so much about this stuff. Okay, I've put down some truly horrendous laps. I think food might be done, and I want to go eat. So I'm going to do one more lap, best I can, and I'm going to shut up and just do it, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, here we go. Final corner here. Oh my god. Started off strong. Oh. God damn it. Okay, well, would you believe me if I told you that wasn't what I was planning on doing? Okay, I don't care. I'm going to do one more lap anyway. Hopefully the tires aren't too hashed. I honestly think my tires are fried here. They're just not... I mean, not putting blame on the car or the tires, but I think I wrecked them. Oh, yep, we're washing wide. Man, God, if I had stayed on it, maybe. I don't have a lot of comfortability around here, which is why talking and driving and crashing was actually okay by me. Okay, here we go. That was bad. I don't know, I think talking and driving and not really thinking about it can enforce bad habits, but it's also a nice way for comfortability. It's like, I now know all the corners. Like, I don't have to stop and go, what corner comes after this? Like, I already know. I've done 30 laps here or whatever, however many I just did. Not to mention the dozen or so I did before I streamed. But I would probably go race like this. I wouldn't expect to win or even do particularly well, but at this point I think I have enough track familiarity that I don't think I'd be braking way early for stuff or causing any issues. Like, I was driving at qual pace on the last one, and the tires I just don't think are there. Or I'm not there. It's also possible that I'm just not consistent yet. But at least I have enough familiarity now to race if I want to, which I think after dinner I want to. And I think I'll stream it. But that's all for me right now. Maybe tonight, maybe forever. But keep an eye out. Maybe I'll be on again. Thank you all for watching.